What's this? A letter for me.
Alright, welcome back to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. I only have 3 envelopes I'm going to share with you today, and one of them I know who it is because I got a return address label on there. So I'm going to open these up and share them with you. I'm very excited to get the first one out with the return label. So because he put that label on there and he also stuck a sticker on there that says keep in touch, I'm going to be very careful and open it off camera so I don't damage anything. And opening it up, it is exactly what I thought it was. And if you guys remember from my previous videos I should say, it is the 1960 Leaders card, now signed by Stan Williams. I know it's kind of hard to see, you can see the hole through Bob Friend pretty good, but Stan Williams signed his name to that, so now the only, Don Drysdale, as I mentioned, has passed away, so the only living person I can still get is Mike McCormick, and I think he requires a small donation with a signature request, so I'm going to probably send that to him along with $5 or $10 or whatever it is to get it signed. So hopefully I get this back with Mike McCormick on it, and I can share that with you and forever put it in my collection and never look at it again. No, I'm just teasing. But so thank you very much, Mr. Williams, for adding your name to that ERA Leaders card. If you guys have a chance to go out there and find this copy of this card, you know, all 3 of these guys have signed through the mail for me. So hopefully we get McCormick to make it the 4th guy. So this next envelope is postmarked from Nashville, Tennessee, and it's got a different, older stamp on it, meaning it's not the same type of stamp, if you can see it right there in the corner. So this has got to be an older request, so let me do it on camera here. Hopefully I don't make it too blurry. And it is baseball. And another Leaders card, oh boy, and that is Mr. Joe Coleman on 1, 2, 3, his rookie card, and 4 with Mickey Lolich and Vida Blue, strikeout leaders. I don't recall when I sent these. I would say over a year ago or maybe even more. It was definitely before I started doing my Through the Mail Thursday videos. So it had to have been sometime in 2017. Joel Coleman Jr. is actually the son of former pitcher Joel Coleman Sr. And this Joe Coleman was actually the Cardinals pitching coach for many years. I want to say under Joe Torre, when Joe Torre was the manager of the Cardinals. I could be wrong about that. But if you look at the back of his card, you know, stats galore, he had a very long and fruitful career in the major leagues. Came up with the Senators in 1965, only in 2 games, and 1 game in 66. Then finally in 67, the rookie card is when he stuck to the majors. And in 67, he had an adequate season. He was 8-9, it appears. I mean, not wonderful, but not horrible. But he really hit his peak, it looks like, when he was a member of the Detroit Tigers here, the 71 Tigers, which featured Lolich as well. And with the Detroit Tigers, he went 20-9 in 1971, 19-14 in 72, 23-15, 23-15 in 1973. That's awesome. Then after that, he went 14-12, and it was a pretty steady decline from thereafter, it looks like. So I would guess, it appears to me, that he had a 3-year window there that he was a knockout awesome pitcher, and then he probably had some arm trouble, and that was it. Like I said, I know he went on to coach after, you know, his playing career. I remember watching, you know, Cardinal games when I was a kid, and he was the pitching coach. So that was probably when Dow Maxville was still there as the general manager. It might have been under Whitey, but I want to say it was under Joe Torre that he was the pitching coach. But again, I could be wrong. And when Tony La Russa came to town in St. Louis, that was when Joe Coleman more or less went out of town. So if you followed the Cardinals at all, their early 90s, late 80s teams, and I'm not talking about the World Series years, 87, 85, I'm talking about after that. After Jack Clark left, after, you know, a few key players left, you know, the Cardinals were a pretty bad team. And they weren't winning, but they still had some young talent coming up through their system. You know, their struggles, just like they are today, is they didn't have a whole lot of pitching, so that definitely hurt them. But, you know, the young prospects like Todd Zeile, Ray Langford, Bernard Gilkey, you know, just had not hit their stride yet. But once they did, you know, those guys were fixtures in St. Louis for many years. So thank you, Mr. Coleman, for adding those to my collection. Very happy to get those back. It was a little bit of a wait, but well worth it. And maybe I'll try to track down Vida Blue and Mickey Lolich to try to finish that card off. You just never know. I know those guys signed through the mail for a fee, so I might pony up the... Sorry, I messed up the sign there. I might pony up the cash and just pay for it to get that finished, and hopefully they decide they don't want to keep the cards. Alright, so this final one is postmarked from North Texas. So this could be a football success, or this could be baseball, this could be, I don't know, because I write a lot of people in Texas, it seems. So we're just going to tear in there and see what we got here. And it appears to be a Jerry Browne autograph. And Mr. Browne, hopefully I'm saying that right, it may be Brownie, but if you notice his name, there's an E on the end, so I'm assuming it's Browne, but maybe I'm wrong. And I put 6 in there, and he signed all 6 from the looks of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And looks like 3 rookie cards here. One out of the Donruss rookies, 87 Topps traded, and the 87 Donruss. So Jerry Browne was a pretty good player. He was a good utility guy, a good guy to fill in at second base or third base, or, you know, one of those type of players. He played, I want to say, roughly about 10 years in the majors. You know, he played for the Rangers. You know, I know one of the viewers that really enjoys, you know, collecting Rangers autographs, so hopefully you already got a Mr. Browne autograph. If not, send him out. He signs. He then went on to the Indians, and I want to say he was either on the first year or second year. He was on the Florida Marlins after they were an expansion team. So I'm not sure if he played anywhere after the Marlins, but I'm almost 99% sure he played for the Marlins, you know, at one point when the Marlins were still a young franchise. So thank you very much, Mr. Browne. Very happy to add those to the collection. And in closing, this video is a little shorter, but I only had 3 successes this week, and again, these Joe Colemans, didn't even know I was going to get them back, because I kind of pretty much wrote off that I was never going to see those again. But happy to get those, but most happy to get that 1960 ERA leaders card back with Stan Williams on it. You know, this is awesome that Mr. Williams took the time to sign that, and it's just too bad I got a tack hole through the card, but you know what? Who cares? That's the way I look at it. Now if we can just get Mike McCormick on there, we'll be good. So thank you for the successes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for joining me on another Through the Mail Thursday video, and look forward to your comments below. Thanks.